Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 3 here of the 2025 Summerside Showcase. This game featuring the Fundy Kraken and the Lindsay Surge. Game number 1 bright and early here Sunday morning. Grab your coffee, flick the game on, and let's have another great day of female hockey here from Summerside. Starting goaltenders we'll get to in just a second. So McCormick looking for that loose puck. Now it's going to be picked up by Josephs. Moves it over to the right side for McCormick. Down the right side, back door there, and close chance early on, but couldn't find the goal. Starting goaltender for the Fundy Kraken. McCormick now. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Mara Gillespie. And for the Lindsay Surge, Eleanor Feltham now as Joseph works around the offensive zone here. Shot towards goal, rebound shot, they score early on. The first goal on the board, 43 seconds into the game, and the Surge strike first. So seeing who leads the charge here. Looks like London's going to get that goal. So we're back to center ice. Right back on the attack go the Surge. Sangster down the right side, centering into the feet. Cleared out of harm's way. Kosman looking for her options through the middle for Little. Little chip and chase as she'll get in the end zone. Ooh, awkward fall there from Tran, but she's right back to her feet. Little in there to help out. Mills as well, centering pass, nobody home for the St. John's squad as that gets pushed out into the neutral zone. Poked free. Blowing a tire down there and getting it in to the end zone though as the Kraken look to break out. Bootlier up the right side through the middle of the ice. Nedelku. Rossong now, she'll carry. Over to the left side, nice feed to Buffett. Buffett down the left side now, she enters. Shot there, saved by Gillespie as the rebound comes loose. Towards the goal, redirected before it could get there now as Little picks it up. Had a hard time with it there for a moment, chips it off the wall. That was Ricketson, she turned it over. Back the other way, Buffett with a head of steam. She cuts through the seam. Down into the left corner. Bootlier got enough of her to slow her down. She goes down low to Eisner. Eisner being leaned on. Chip back up to the point. Partnered across for Rossong. Rossong into the middle. Shot there, nice save. Vautour right on the high slot there. Got a great look. This comes back to Rossong now. Partnered across for Nedelku. Shot towards goal. Tipped in front and Gillespie sharp there and hangs on. 17:32 left to go here now in this first period. Just underway. We have 5 games on deck for you here from the Credit Union Place, 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4. And of course, all of the other action across the High Button Sports channels here today. Another crisp Sunday morning here in Summerside. These girls are at it early on. Hartnell now, she walks down. That was blocked. Tran now, back down to Hartnell. Hartnell, side of the goal, in behind the net now. Works around to the far side, back up top for Gibbs. That one takes a weird bounce and goes all the way back down into the Surge zone. Nice outlet pass for the middle for Robertson. Robertson takes a bump. Had it poked off her stick. There you go the Kraken trying to break out. That was Duguay. Jammed up between the benches now. Pulled free. That was Wilcox. She couldn't get it deep. Surge looking to strike back the other way here. Hartnell, nice little move. She gets around Duguay, but that'll roll into the corner. Back to the point. Gibbs works to the middle. She'll fire a shot there. That one goes well wide on the right side. Back to the point. Slap shot there. And that one goes wide as well. Beck's now in the corner. She'll reverse it back the other way. Heavy shoulder here for Bex as that's poked into the middle. And now McCormick steals that from Somerville. She's going to get in over the red line now, over the blue. She'll chip it in. Defense will hold her up there. Good job. Joseph in on the forecheck against Haley LeBlanc. In the corner now. Worked up the left side. Trying to poke at it there was Somerville. Couldn't get it to go as the puck goes back down into the corner. Rimmed around to the far side. Nedelku. Quick peel and fires it back down deep. McCormick looking to get that loose puck. Back to the point. Cross for Nedelku. Shot coming. Gillespie the save. The rebound comes loose. London looking for it. Still in behind the goal now. McCormick will peel it out of the crowd. Works into the middle of the ice. Peeled away from the net now. Back across to Nedelku. A shot there. Gillespie the save. And she'll pounce on the rebound with 15-17 left to go now here in the first. Pretty cool moment for some of these ladies. Last night at the Summerside Capitals game, they were recognized for their incredible feat in the silver medal at the U18 Women's Nationals, which I'm sure you've heard of. Keep an eye out later on today as we're able to capture some of the moments from that ceremony, so eye on the social media pages, as I'm sure you'll have. Back to gameplay here as that's put up the left side. Little trying to poke that free, was held in. Back through the middle of the ice now. Looking to quick strike back the other way is Catherine Dickey. Tried to make a move, couldn't get by the defender. Rossong now. Fires it across. Gibbs. Bank pass for Sangster. Sangster takes a bump from Little. It's the two 11s clash here. Now Sangster will peel it into the middle. She'll chip and chase, and actually she's going to head for a change here, and so will the rest of her line mates. Pass through the middle. Little. Couldn't hang on long enough to get it through the neutral zone here, as that's going to be touched up at the blue line, and that's going to be an offside. Charge to the Surge. So we'll have a face-off just underneath us here. The old eye in the sky. Tran tried to get it in deep, hits the body of Duguay before it could get into the zone, as she'll recollect. Fires it back down into the zone. Kim stops up in behind her own net. Fired up the left side for Buffett. Buffett was pressed right away. Good pinch down from Duguay, and she's able to hold the line. Garnett. He tries to work it towards a goal. Kim stops up. She's being pressed from both sides here. Tran through the middle. Eisner couldn't handle as the puck will be pushed back down inside the Surge zone. Kraken bench loving the pressure here from this line. Chipped off the wall, and that one heads up over there on the bench as it'll get out of play. So face-off will come just out front of Coach Andy Bezo and the rest of his Kraken squad. Pretty good hockey resume on that man back there behind the bench. Bootlier now loops in her own zone, tries to reverse it back, but she turns it over as Leckie gets in there. Chloe Leckie spins, protects the puck. She'll work around up top. She'll move it across now for Hartnell. Hartnell now shut there. Gillespie the save. It's in her feet. They whack away at it, and it's going to be smothered up on the quick whistle here. So face off to the left side now. Left side of the goaltender, that is. Tied up off the draw. Leckie finds the loose puck. Goes back to the point. Shot there. Gillespie once again finds it through a crowd, and she will hang on. So once again, we'll go right back to where we started here. Quick look up there at the row of dads sitting there. You can barely see them in your screen. 6 of them up there in a single file line, as hockey dads normally do. Through the middle now, Bex. She'll chip. She's going to get in on the chase. as that's just going to go down for icing there. Right idea from Bex, just a little bit ahead of the red line. She can really boogie too. So back down to the Kraken zone we go. This time we'll switch sides. Puck is down. Flashing off the draw. Hartnell. Cross ice for Nedelku. Beck's in the lane. Shot there, deflected, and that's going to be stopped up. Face-off is down here once again. Collected by Cosman. Up the right side now. Wilcox through the middle, trying to find Dickey there, but it was picked off and back the other way. Hartnell makes a move. She's tripped up, and the arm goes up. And now they will touch up here. And that's going to be the first power play of the game. And it's going to go to the Lindsay Surge, as Gabrielle Legier will head to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. So the Surge will head to the power play, leading by 1. And the first power play of the game here. So win the face-off cleanly. Working to the middle of the ice there is Rossong. She'll move it across for Eisner. Eisner walks across. Hartnell trying for the old one-leg Brett Hall one-timer and just fanned on it. Rossong shot there through a crowd. Gillespie tracks it beautifully, and she'll hang on out at the top of the crease. Good job by the Fundy defense there as they boxed out on each side of the post, and that opened up that seam through the middle of the ice there, and that allowed Gillespie to see that shot. So it's pretty well the name of the game in the defensive zone there, especially down a body. Want to make sure that goaltender can see that puck and take some open sticks here. So Rossong now back for it. She'll stretch it all the way down for Hartnell. Hartnell had to wait for Robertson to get back on side. Stopped up. Hustling in there was Beck. She came flying in. Left it there for Rossong. Looking for the tip in front. Vautour got a stick on it, but didn't quite get it towards the goal. Eisner, shot pass across ice for Vautour. She whiffs on it. Sauce down low. Worked in behind the goal now. Robertson with it. Comes back up top. Eisner now. She'll work towards the middle. Fires it across for Rossong. Rossong, backdoor there. They had the seam. Robertson got a stick on it, or sorry, a skate on it, but couldn't get the lumber. As Hartnell now moves it back up top for Rossong. Cross ice. Eisner on the seam. Hartnell just across the top of the circle. She'll fire it down to the right wing half wall. Back up top for Rossong. Working to the middle. Another shot coming. Gillespie the save once again, and she will hang on. Solid so far here for the Fundy Kraken, Mara Gillespie. Not often you see two goaltenders that are the old southpaw left-handed. This Fundy Kraken rocking those two here. Mara Gillespie and Mika Chason, who I had the pleasure of watching her make 100 and some odd saves in a weekend when the Kraken took down the Cape Breton Lynx a couple weekends ago. Now the power play continues here for another 20 seconds. Back down low for Joseph. Joseph pressed by Duguay now as Dickey comes in to help out as well. She'll get it out to the blue line and into the neutral zone, so the Surge will have to re-rack here now as McCormick enters the zone. 7 seconds left to go. Legier back to her feet, ready to go. Gibbs in deep. Good job by Joseph as she hangs back to cover for the D that pinched. Chipped off the wall, right out of the box. Legier looking for that stretch, but it was Joseph back in defensive positioning to hold that from happening. London couldn't get around the defender. Now the puck will find her stick once again. Worked in behind the net. Looking for a centering chance. McCormick, spin around shot. That one gets tipped and goes high and wide. Joseph. Nice exchange there with Nedelku. Nedelku fires it towards the goal. Duguay intercepts. It's Gonna be chipped off the wall. Dickey was potentially waiting for that quick stretch pass, but she'll head for a change now as Joseph loops back inside her own zone up the left side for McCormick. McCormick chips it in deep. Great communication down there in the Kraken zone. You can hear them yelling time, time, time from way up in here. Now Boutlier, she'll move it around. Somerville had that bounce over her stick now as Kim collects. Up and over everybody and in deep. Poirier. She's got Sangster on her left side. Poirier will continue on. Nedelku towards the goal. That one goes wide. Somerville now through the middle of the ice. Picked up and dumped in. Kraken are going to get in here on the forecheck. Back forward is Nedelku. She reverses it back the other way, but it was turned over. There's little in there for checking. Somerville now turns it over. Centering pass there, and the F3 for the Kraken had just entered the party zone from the bench there and just couldn't quite get there in time. Over to the left side now, Sangster. Chip and chase to herself. She's going to have a step here. Ali Sangster shot there. Nice save made by Gillespie. Picked up and back the other way. Here's the Kraken look to exit the zone. Stepping up at the line was Hartnell, but she couldn't hold the line. Garnett now tries to poke it free. Turned it over at the offensive blue line now. Is Duguay back for it, but it's actually Cosman who picks it up. Cross ice for Ricketson. Ricketson. We'll take a little bit of a push there from Rossong as that puck will get in deep. Gibbs will loop it around now. Hartnell trying to pick it up at the backhand, and she will do so here now. Hartnell up the right side. And centering, and that one goes through everybody. Every time I look down at the Kraken bench, Coach Bezo, something going on down there in a good way. Lots of teaching moments. At the end of the day, you're trying to win hockey games, but you are trying to develop hockey players and humans, so I think that goes without saying. Sometimes we're all a little guilty of forgetting about that. So we'll have a face-off to the right side of Gillespie now. Hartnell will take it off the face-off. Dickey thought it was already back down in play. She had it right basically on her stick. Now she'll exit the zone through the middle of the ice. Bex wanted that pass. They got it to her area. As now Robertson will spin off. Bex on the back check. Hartnell. And over the line. Driving deep. Backdoor for Robertson. Shot. They score. Nevaeh Robertson driving the back post. And Hartnell puts it right on her tape. And then that's going to make a 2-0 surge here. So that one will definitely be Robertson from Hartnell. Not sure who the second assist is, or even if they have one. But regardless of all that, it's a 2-0 lead here with 7:19 left to go here in the first period. Pile up there off the opening face-off after the goal. Cross-ice pass, nice feed there from Tran right down the right side. Vautour, double delay. In deep now as Buffett comes around. Buffett, cross-ice, Tran working, tried to go backdoor. She got it there. Not sure how it found the stick of Vautour, but it does. That goes back to the point. Shot towards the goal. Gillespie the save, rebound clear. Comes back up to Tran. Shot there, that one high. Vautour back to the point. Back into the middle. Up top. Shot there. Scores. Right where the net bends, the post and the crossbar meet. And it's Isabel Kim striking here from the blue line, and it's 3-0 now. So back to center ice we go. 6:37 left here on the first period game clock. High Button crew will be right back here to Summerside at Credit Union Place on Wednesday for the Ed McNeil Memorial Tournament. So we're excited for that. Busy weekend coming up, but we still have 4 games here at the showcase after this one, and about 10 games across all other leagues. Now is Joseph driving, shot there, she scores. What a net drive there, Danica Joseph. And just like that, the surge strike in waves here, 3 in a couple minutes. And it's a 4-0 lead. Back to center here. Off the draw, Ricketson will pick it up. She'll work down the left side. Into the zone now, off the side of the net. Oh, Feltham took a little bit of a bump there, but she was pushed into the net. Didn't seem to phase her, though. McCormick enters the zone. Shot towards the goal, and that's going to be covered up by Gillespie. So we'll have a face-off here in the Kraken end zone. Puck is down. Cleanly won by the Surge. Rossong works to the middle. Shot there. Gillespie smothers it up and hangs on. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the first. Sangster off the draw, back to Rossong. Looking for a shot. That one will go whistling by the goal as Nedelku will pick it up at the right side. She'll turn, she'll fire. That was tipped. Gould now moves it back to the point. She'll follow up. Beck staying right with her. Rossong shot. Save Gillespie. Rebound loose. Bootlier will battle down there. She'll come away with that, and now it looks like we're going to have a penalty here. It's going to be a boarding call. Haven't seen one of those yet this weekend. It's going to go to Heidi Beck there, as you see just in the bottom of your screen. So another power play here for the Surge. Second of the game. Off the draw. The Kraken will collect. Get it up to the blue line. That's as far as it'll go. Rossong. Back over to the left side for Poirier. Poirier shot there, and she goes top shelf. Just 14 seconds into the power play. And Lacey Poirier absolutely firing a laser up and over the glove there of Gillespie. Not much she can do there. There wasn't a whole lot of space to work with. It's one of those ones that beats most goalies, so I'm the goalie not hanging my head too much on that one. Cross seam pass and quick release there from Poirier. And now it's 5-0 here for the Surge. Sangster now turns it over at the offensive blue line. She fires it in deep. Poirier once again fires it towards a goal. That goes wide. LeBlanc now for the Kraken. In behind her own goal. She'll step around Poirier, but Gould was in to help out. Kraken looking for the exit here. LeBlanc. Nice feed across through the middle of the ice. Now Somerville, she'll take a bump there from Gould, but they're able to get it in deep here as they're going to head for a change. Cross ice pass for Sangster on the left side. Sangster will hit the getaway sticks. Down the left side. She'll muscle her way down into the corner. Sangster stopped up and behind the goal. She'll alleviate the pressure. Banked it up to the wall for Gibbs. They try that pass once more, and this time it'll work. Gibbs, a blast there from the point. Kicked aside there by Gillespie. Through the middle for Garnett. Back for Gibbs. Gibbs trying to go up the right side there for Hartnell, but it was picked off by Dickey. Robertson couldn't handle now. Dickey. Drops it there. Shot coming towards a goal. Didn't quite make its way there. And now we're going to have a penalty here to the Surge. It's going to be an interference call. I think it's going to go to Alicia Nedelku here. So power play here for the Kraken. Trailing by 5. Good opportunity here to start cutting into this lead. 3:38. Puck comes to the blue line now. Robertson back the other way, shorthanded. Cosman couldn't stop her. Robertson shot there, save made Gillespie. Chipped inside the zone, and they're going to call that icing. So we'll flip it back down to the other end. Down now. Kraken will collect off the draw. Mella Cosman up the right side for Dickey. Dickey for Wilcox, who had come through underneath for support. Properly done. Got the pass, but had it bounce off her stick. Now is Hartnell being pressed there from the backside. Robertson. Chip free. Hootlier now will collect. She'll carry it in over the zone. She's going to fire a shot there. Feltham the save, and she's not going to take any chances with Hootlier coming to the doorstep there. So she'll hang on, and we'll have an offensive zone faceoff here for the Fundy Kraken. 2:45 left to go here in this first period. Going to be LeBlanc and Leckie on the draw here. Leckie will win it. Tran. Fired around all the way to the far side. Shot towards the goal. Feltham the save. The rebound comes loose, but it was cleared out of harm's way. Back to the point. Legier. She'll move it back. Shot towards the goal. Right through, and Beck's causing a ruckus in front. Feltham was able to track that one through a couple bodies. Now it's going to be turned and fired down the ice. And that'll go the length here. Right side, Gould couldn't quite handle it there as LeBlanc didn't fully know if it was going to get through or not, so pass through the middle. Leckie turned it over. She'll fire that in deep. Gould will head for a change here. And behind their own goal now, getting going on the breakout here. Less than 2 minutes to go. That pass just a little late there as it didn't quite make its way to Bex, but it's going to be sent the length. Little picks it up off the half wall now. She's got Guilliand with her. She's going to move it over to the left side now for Duguay. Duguay is going to fire that in. Bex was offside. So the Kraken are going to have to regroup here, and we're back to even strength as Nedelku enters back into the surface. Up the right side, Duguay. Just pushed it back in now as Gibbs is going to make her way up the ice. The dump in hit Somerville along the way off the glass. Didn't even phase the coach over there on the Kraken bench. It's Gibbs. Just underneath us, will gain the red line. She'll get it in deep. Duguay now rips it up to the blue line. Kim lost it in her feet, but was able to hold the line. Back up the right side now. Just in front of their Surge bench. Final minute to play here in the first period. Nedelku cross for Buffett. Looking for the one touch for Eisner. She didn't quite get it there, but Eisner was able to come through and grab it. Across the top of the circles. Turns, fires. Gillespie the save. The rebound goes all the way over to the far side. Buffett on the rebound. Somerville as well. Great job there. Take that extra step and get that red line. That's a small detail, and if you've listened to any games where I've been on the mic, I tend to mention those small details that go a long way. But now back the other way is Joseph with a steam shot there, and Gillespie the save. And she'll once again hang on. Just to finish that note there, the small details of the game. Coach used to say growing up, you do the little things right, the big things will come, and I do think that starts with the little details of the game as well. So yeah, you take that extra stride, you get that puck in deep, and you don't force your team to defend right off the face-off right away, especially with a 5-goal deficit here. So just 20 seconds left to go here in the first. Rossong on the half wall. Ricketson pressing her. It's going to be looped in behind the net now as Dickey will remove it from there. Push it back up to the point now as Rossong a shot. Gillespie the save, the rebound. It's poked free, Ella Cosman, and that will do it here for the first 20 minutes. A big push from the Surge, give them a 5-0 lead here after 20 minutes of play. We'll be back with second period after the intermission. You're watching the 2025 Summerside Female Showcase here from Credit Union Place in Summerside, and we will be back shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here inside the Credit Union Place, live for the second period here. The Kraken trail the Lindsay Surge 5-0 after 20 minutes of play. 20 minutes up on the board. Puck is down, and we're ready to go here now for the second period. Rawsong wasn't able to get it deep. So now Joseph will collect. She'll wheel through the middle. Had that poked off her stick. Delayed penalty on the way here to the Kraken early. Gibbs is going to loop back. Felt them. Realizing with the arm up, so she'll head to the bench for the extra attacker here. And now Gilliand will touch it up. It's going to be a hooking call here to Summer Gilliand. So an early power play here for the Surge, looking to extend their lead even further. Face off down, that'll come all the way outside the zone off the clean win. Gibbs now, she'll chip it to herself. She's going to get in on the forecheck here. Exchange there, cut back move. Shot from Joseph. Gillespie the save, the rebound comes free. Bootlier, good heads up play there. She took a quick peek before the puck got to her. And she found a lane to fire that the length of the ice. That'll go the full 200. Gibbs on the power play breakout. Cross for Rawsong. She's going to stop up just inside the blue line. Good job there by the Kraken defense not to allow her to get too deep, but she is able to stop and get set up. Back up top. Kim, right side. McCormick, one touch back, tipped in front. Nice save, Gillespie, as she kicked out that left pad. McCormick, all the way across for Rawsong. Shot on the way. Tipped in front, Gillespie the save, and she will once again hang on. 58 seconds, a minute and 2 into the power play. Puck is down here. Taken by the Kraken off the draw. Poirier takes out her opponent. Shove play at the side of the goal there. And work back into the corner. Far side. Collected here by Poirier. Back for Tran. Tran back over to Poirier. Picks it up on the backhand. Goes all the way across now. Kim just one touches that down low. Gould on the loose puck here in the corner. All the way up past the hash marks. Back for Kim into the middle. Shot there. Gillespie. Good redirection there at the stick as that goes up into the corner. Back for Kim. Kim. Back to Poirier, who had followed up. Beck's on her. Poirier front backhand chance there. Gillespie got the blocker on it. The Sangster collects that rebound. She'll drop it back for Kim. Kim sees the bodies in front. She fires when the save was made, but the rebound's loose, looking for a wraparound. Penalty expires. Gilliand came firing through. She was able to poke that puck off now, but the Surge will maintain possession here. Kim. Across for Tran. Tran fires one. That goes wide on the blocker side. Now Sangster. She'll work in behind the goal. Chips it to herself. She'll have to hustle here to get it. As Mills able to poke that free. Leon to the blue line, but couldn't quite get it out. Now they will get it out, and it's going to be touched up by Leckie here. And that's going to be an offside charge to the Surge. So we'll have a face-off just here in the neutral zone. Cross ice for Nedelku. Into the corner it goes. 2-on-1 down there. Now a 2-on-2 as Leckie kind of just eased off, waiting for that puck to squirt free. Bootlier will pick it up. Moves it into the middle, but she turned it over. It's going to be chipped off the wall there. And out through the neutral zone. That's Little. Looking to recollect. That's Hartnell. Bumped off the puck. Garnett is going to chip that in deep. Somerville will get in on the forecheck. Nedelku back for it. She'll move it up the right side here. Rossong following up here from the defensive position. Now is Hartnell with a 3-on-1 back the other way. 3-on-2 now. Hartnell, she'll keep, fires it through the middle, and Robertson just a little bit too deep there to pick that one up. Now as Lecky works out of the corner, had that poked off her stick. Nice little move there from Richard as Robertson bumps into her. All the way up the right side. Duguay out-muscles Hartnell for that puck. Rossong had a hard time with it there for a moment, but she regains possession. Chipped in deep, red line in deep, and the Surge will complete a full sail change here. Ricketson wanting that puck out in the neutral zone, but it's Gibbs who collects. Cross ice for Eisner. Eisner enters the zone. Down deep, she'll carry it. Working deep still and behind the net. She'll go all the way around to the far side. Centering pass there for Vautour. Vautour tripped up. So those two get tangled. So Eisner down the right side. Back to the point for Gibbs. Gibbs to the middle. Winds, fires there. That one's off the end wall. So Gibbs has let a few rockets go here. Oh, front Tran there sneaking into the high slot. Buffett now on the loose puck. Hooked around to the far side. Mills got a stick on it. Hartnell looking for that loose puck. It's punched out of the high slot. Eisner towards a goal. She tried to go far side on the glove. That one goes wide. Tran back down low. Vautour. And Hartnell. Sorry, that was not Hartnell down there. Duguay now. She's going to work out of her own zone here. Gets around the first forechecker. Chip and chase. She just barrels through Tran as they both hit the deck there. And now Gibbs. Nice diving play there. Heidi Beck's second effort all the way. Now as Gibbs comes through, she takes a spill. Cosman now. London holds the line. Gibbs down in deep. She's going to find that puck. Now it's going to be another delayed penalty here coming to the Kraken as Felton was just making her way to the bench. It's going to be an interference call here to Ella Cosman. So the Surge back to the power play. They scored 14 seconds into their last advantage. Face off to the left side of Gillespie. Puck won cleanly. Nedelku, the last one back now. She'll wait for Kim to get set up. Shot coming. Blocker to side. Rebound loose now as McCormick will pick it up in behind the goal. McCormick stick handling out of the corner. She'll move it up top for Kim. Kim on the left side point. She works to the middle. She's going to fire that towards the goal. Gillespie the save, and the rebound was there for a moment, but the whistle will go. So we'll go right back to where we started here. This time the Kraken will come away with the face-off. Chipped in behind. Joseph looking to get freed up in behind the net. Back to the point for McCormick. She'll fire across ice. Kim into the middle for Nedelku. Nedelku over to the right side for McCormick. McCormick with some space. She'll wind, she'll fire. That'll go wide on the blocker side. Kim behind the goal. Tries to make a pass. Poked off her stick. McCormick in the corner. She'll work right to the front of the goal. Power move shot there. Gillespie the save. Rebounds loose, and behind the goal now is Joseph. Joseph, short side. That one goes up and over the net. Nedelku now in the middle of the point. She'll fire. Kicked aside by Gillespie. Back out to the point. Nedelku, good reaction time there. She holds the line. One-time shot there. That goes wide. 35 seconds left to go here in the penalty. Nedelku, and just came outside the line. So we'll have a face-off just in front of us here in the neutral zone. Face-off down. Sangster off the draw will collect. She chips it towards her own bench. Had everybody scampering there for a sec now. Nice little feed cross ice from Rossong into the middle. Sangster, nice stick handling. Gould shot there. Gillespie had to be sharp, and she was. So she'll corral that and make the save. So we'll have a face-off here to the blocker side of Mara Gillespie, who's been tested heavily here. Despite giving up 5 goals, has had herself quite the game here. Back to the point for Rossong. A little shake move there from LeBlanc. She gets it for Poirier. Poirier fires it across. Gibbs looking for the boom. Couldn't pull the trigger as that rolled through her feet. All the way down the ice now is Feltham out to play it. Back to even strength now is big kill there for the Kraken. Rossong turned it over. Shot there. Feltham the save. Kicked aside. Boutlier, another shot. She fanned on that attempt. As Gould couldn't out-muscle Boutlier there as the puck went back down inside the surge zone. Down inside the surge end zone here. The right side. Poirier looking for her options. She'll carry. She's going to get the red line. Stick handles around the first defender. Had it poked off her stick. Now Ricketson trying to go back the other way here in transition. Rossong across. Through the middle. Poirier now will get the red line. She'll get it in deep. Boutlier down there. Had a hard time there for a sec, but she regains her composure. Stugay will chip that up the left side. That's going to go all the way down the ice, and that's going to be an icing charge to the Kraken here. So we'll flip it back down to the end zone here. Shout out to the DJ once again here at Credit Union Place. Watched him do 7 straight games yesterday, and then he ripped upstairs and was the public address announcer for the Summerside Caps with the lights and the sound and all that stuff. They do put quite the show on here. I touched on it yesterday a little bit as a former player. One of the worst places to play, but also the best. You knew you were getting scored on a bunch, and you knew the light show was coming every time, but incredible facility, especially in the 2000s. This was certainly one of its only kind around. They know what they're doing around here. So that puck's going to be lofted out through the neutral zone. It's going to go all the way down the ice, and that one's going to be icing once again. I think anyone would have been okay with that one being waved off. She was basically right there, but hey, rules are rules. We're just going to have to take a sec here as Gillespie is going to need a sec here to get recalibrated down there in the crease. Like that play, actually. I'm not sure if she actually had to fix anything, but if she didn't, smart little play there. Give her team a little extra rest here before the face-off. The old game within the game. Now she'll probably hear this and go, no, my pad was actually loose and I did have to fix it. Robertson couldn't handle the bouncing puck. It's Hartnell down the right side. She'll spin around and delay. Hartnell works into the middle. Try to drag it to the front. Kim. Cross for Tran. Oh, front Robertson there. The puck landed right on her stick, and it kind of surprised her too, I think. And behind the goal now. Try to go back the other way was Lecky. Shot towards the goal. Gillespie the save. All the way out to the point. Back now. Right side. Kim. Down low for Lecky. Lecky fakes up top. She'll cut back the other way. Lecky centering out front for Robertson. Nice little save there from Gillespie, but a good feed from Lecky to create that chance. Now shot there through the distance is going to find the back of the net, and that is number 3 for Nevaeh Robertson. That's a hat trick. So a hat trick for Robertson. The old high button hat trick, as we like to call it. And it's a 6-0 lead here for the Surge, and we'll get the clock back calibrated here. Well, now Eisner. She'll move it down the right side for Vautour. Vautour shot there, an absolute bullet, but that goes well wide. That one moved that pane of glass down there. Another shot there through the distance. Nedelku looking for the old sneak shot. Beck's looking for that loose puck. Down low, Eisner drags, pulls, shoots, saved Gillespie. Rebound still loose. Vautour now will find it. Back for Nedelku. Nedelku down low. Eisner, nice move. Tried to feed Vautour backdoor, just didn't get any loft on it, so it was intercepted. As Beck's couldn't hang on. Eisner gets sandwiched down there. Gilliand trying to regain her stick here. Nedelku fired a right cross ice. She knew exactly where she wanted to go as soon as that puck hit. Now there's a shot there that was blocked. Gilliand got hooked up. Play continues though, however, as Kosman now. Kosman up the right side. Somerville had to go off her stick now as Gibbs will go back through the neutral zone to get it. She'll partner it across for Rossong now. Beck's in on the forecheck. McCormick picks it up on the backhand. Chipped. And that one's going to be icing, says the official. And we're going to head back down into the Surge zone on the icing call here. So 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to go now in the second period. On the draw now, they tie up. The puck will get into the corner. All the way back to the point. Joseph with a step there on Marshall. Joseph down the right side. Tried to go to the forehand and up and over the blocker, but fanned on the attempt. Cross ice pass, McCormick. And that one's going to go outside the zone on the shot attempt. McCormick had to wait for her teammates to get back on side. Now that loose puck is going to find her. She'll move down the left side. Opportunity to shoot, she does. That goes wide. All the way back to the point. Joseph couldn't hold the line, so Gibbs will go back for it. Up the wall, Joseph collects underneath the quality in sign. She just dodged a hit there. She's able to keep control. She enters in over the blue line. She fires across ice. London looking for that puck, but it's Dickey who picks it up. Held in by Kim as she just puts that down into the corner. Chipped off the wall. In behind, Bex. Can always hear her communicating down there. Part of why she probably wears that letter. Backhand chance there from Dick. He just goes wide. Kim spins off. Bex in there in a hurry. Back to the point. Duguay fires a blast. That was blocked by Poirier. That'll go back out into the neutral zone. Boutlier fires it across to her partner Duguay. Bounced off her stick. Gould couldn't handle. Bex now down the left side. She'll chip. She'll chase. She got tied up there with Kim as Nedelku back for it. She'll stop. Spins and fires it back up the weak side. Duguay now. Worked to the middle. Sangster went with her, so she dumped it back in the corner. Sangster. One touch through the middle. Great support there for Poirier. She came through underneath. Didn't exit the zone too early. She's going to try and hit the brakes there and blew a tire. So Kosman now will go back the other way. Kosman, nice move. She'll get around Sangster as well. Fires a shot. Blocker to side by Feltham. Rossong tried the partner pass, but it hit the back of the net as Sangster. Nice little between the legs pass. Dangerous, but it worked out this time, so no one will remember. Hartnell couldn't get by the defensive stick there of the Kraken forward who retreated to the bench moments ago. Now is a blocker save made. Hartnell working in the corner against Gilliant. Hartnell coming back towards that stick once again. She walks around to the front of the slot area and she'll fire a shot That's going to be smothered up here by Gillespie on the glove side. So we'll get that errant stick go to play. We'll have a face-off. And then we will start the playoff here in the Kraken zone. .429 left to go here. Taken by the Kraken off the face-off. Surge will regroup, and it's Hartnell in over the line. She'll stick handle her way around. Now backhand chance backdoor. Couldn't quite get it go to Leckie. Leckie turned it over. And back the other way. Garnett couldn't handle long enough to make a play. Hartnell, one touch through the middle now for Leckie coming through in support once again. Leckie blew a tire through center. And that puck's going to get down inside the Kraken zone here. And now we're going to have a whistle. It's going to be a penalty here to the Surge. And it's going to go to Holly Gibbs. 2 minutes for body contact. Nothing worse than going to the penalty box and not being able to get the door open. It's one of the most frustrating things I've ever been a part of from a player standpoint. So power play opportunity here for the Kraken late in the period. Tran will get that all the way up to the blue line. Duguay wasn't able to hold the zone. The Kraken now in over the blue line. Stopped up. Wilcox through the middle. Vautour chipped it free. Now Eisner all alone. Eisner against Gillespie. To the forehand, backhand there, and it rolled up over a stick as Gillespie got a piece of that. Good save made there by the Kraken netminder on the shorthanded chance. Duguay runs into Vautour. LeBlanc. So going to loop it around here. All the way over to the far side for Duguay. Chipped off the wall, trying to get free there. Wilcox couldn't quite get her stick on it as Gillespie comes out to play it. Off her stick and through her feet. Left side Braco pass, chip through. Surge hold the line though as Buffett. She cuts back to the middle. Forehand chance, Gillespie the save. The rebound came free. It's LeBlanc. She'll fire it across, looking for Bex. Bex couldn't come away with it as it comes back out through the neutral zone area. Boutlier swings through and tells her teammate that she got it. Bex now cross ice pass, hit a skate. She tried to get it there quickly. It's 2 minutes, 7 seconds left now. Boutlier, nice feed over to the right side. Somerville, cross for Bex. Rolled off her stick. And now Kim's going to send that the length of the ice. Gillespie comes out to play it. She'll leave it there for Kosman. Kosman cut back move as Joseph pressed her. Boutlier will spin around in her own zone. She'll use the net for protection. Banks it off the back of the net, and she's going to alleviate the pressure now as Joseph. Boutlier showing off the handles there. Tried to go cross ice there, but had it picked off. Backhanded. Back inside the zone, and that one's going to go all the way down for icing, it seems, and yes, it will as the arm went up. So minute 21 left to go here in the second period. A 6-0 lead for the Surge. We'll have a face-off down inside the Kraken end zone. Puck's down now. Battling for it in the face-off dot. London. She'll carry it in behind the goal. Shot there out front, and Joseph makes no mistake as it just bounced off Gillespie there. She got a piece of it, and that'll extend the lead to 7-0 here. A minute 9 seconds left to go, sorry, minute 8 seconds. left to go. So we'll head back to center ice here with just over a minute to go. Excuse me. Chipped off the wall. That was Gabrielle Richard getting that in deep. Nedelku flies around. Jelliand turns it over. Rossong in behind her own goal. Last minute to play here in the second period. Nedelku up the right side. Errant pass. That's going to go all the way down the ice. And that's going to be waved off as McCormick, the hustle play. London shot there. That was blocked. Another crack at it. She whacks at it. Puck comes free. McCormick winds, fires. Gillespie the save. The rebound rolled through the crease there. Not sure if you could see it on your screen, but just by that right post, I guess from our vantage point, right side, the goaltender's left. Back to the point. Across for Tran. Tran back for Rossong. Nice little pass as that's going to be ripped back in deep. 10 seconds left to go. Through the middle of the ice, they tried to get it there, and it was picked off. Now as Gould will have a last second chance here. Gould stopped up. She's going to cycle it in deep. Poirier tries to pull it to the middle, and that's going to do it here for 40 minutes. 7-0 lead here for the Surge after 40 minutes of play. We'll head to the intermission. We'll be back with third period action. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, third period action just about underway here from Credit Union Place. 7-0 lead for the Surge here to start the third. 20 minutes on the board. And we're ready to go now. Sangster dumped there by Duguay. It's Bex now. Big collision over there with Gibbs. The puck comes free. Tran off the wall. Almost picked off by Poirier. Duguay, cross ice pass for Bex. Bex trying to get the red line and get it in deep. She was pinned up against the wall there by Gould. Tran through the middle of the ice now. Gould took a shot. It hit his shin pad. Back the other way. Now Bex tried to center. LeBlanc couldn't pick it up. Now is Tran's just going to dump that back down inside the Surge zone. Chase on now. Goalie change here for the Kraken. Make a chase on who, if I'm not mistaken, might be an underager. If you haven't heard the name Make a Chase on yet, head to the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Instagram or the High Button Sports social media pages, but there's going to be a penalty here. It's Isabel Kim. Didn't see what the call was for as I was heading off on my social media spiel there, but it's going to be a power play here for the Kraken. Worked off the half wall, walking right in. Shot there, tried to go short side, just missed. Chip down the ice. Jason will fire that around to the far side. Boutlier was there to collect. She'll work in her own zone. Hartnell will stay on her. Boutlier spins off. She'll move it up the right side. Little, one touch pass there for Mills now. She'll chip and chase. Mills couldn't get it past the defenders. That's going to be ripped down the length of the ice by Nedelku. Jason, leave it there for Duguay. Shot towards a goal. Kraken trying to exit the zone here. Halfway through the power play now. Boutlier all the way up ice. Nice chip play. That's going to get down inside the Surge zone. Gibbs will back to collect. All the way around the far side. Heads up there now as Vautour had to ship that one quickly. Robertson, 3 goals in the game so far. Garnett now will pick up that cross-ice pass. She'll enter the neutral zone and over the blue line. Chips. Gets slowed up there by Rossong as Gilliand in there now. Gibbs reversed it, but it was Garnett looking for the wraparound chance. They get it at the side of the goal. Still loose. Ref will switch sides, make sure she can get a sight line on the puck here. It's Rossong trying to exit the zone. She moves it up for Robertson. Robertson off the stick of Vautour. Duguay back to retrieve. Nevaeh Robertson turned it over. Garnett chips it and tries to get in behind Tran. Tran able to find that loose puck, and the penalty is over as we're back to even strength here. Robertson dumps it in deep, and she'll head for a change. Lacey Poirier in on the loose puck. Up to the point. Tran can't find it in her feet. Mills was looking for that quick poke the other way. Eisner spins off a defender. Back up top for Kim. Kim back to Eisner. She'll work down up the half wall. Chips it down deep. Buffett in behind the goal. Eisner with it again. She'll move it back up to the point, and Kim almost able to hold the line. But they will have to regroup here in the neutral zone. Tran back for Kim. Kim works in over the line. She'll slide it across for Eisner. Just too far for her to reach, but she will get possession. Oh, front there. Kim snuck into the high slot. Now she'll retreat back to the defensive position. Good job there by Gabby Buffett to go back and cover for the D. Once again, one of those small details of the game. Kim, Tran, shot. That goes wide. Poirier. It's dumped there. The clearing attempt doesn't get outside the zone. Shot there. That one whistles by the ears of Make a Chase On. So now that pass will come through the middle for Somerville. Somerville over the red line. Towards the goal. Felton will just let that bounce loose there for Joseph. Joseph trying to work her way through some traffic here. She'll make her way through the neutral zone. Now she'll move it over to the left side for London. Legier on her. London and Legier tie up. Joseph in there. Juliand in there as well. 2-on-2 down in front of the Dominoes sign. Poked free. Hootler now will find the loose puck. She'll fire it through the middle for Bex. Bex able to get a stick on it. Icing waved off. Feltham comes out to play it. She'll leave it there for Gibbs. Gibbs tried to bank it to the partner. It didn't quite make its way there as Bex had to ease off. Rossong carries it, gets the blue line and chips it in deep. She's going to get in on the forecheck. She looked up to see if any of her teammates had got in there, but they both look at her and say, you can go get it. And she does just that. So the puck peeled over to the corner now by McCormick. McCormick spins around. She creates some space. She's going to walk right into the slot there. Shot there. Save made by Chason. Rossong towards the goal. That was kicked aside. 5 minutes and a half gone here in the third. Joseph works in. Goes all the way to the back door. Puck's still sitting there, and Chason stays strong, and she'll hang on. The face-off inside the Kraken zone here to the left side of Chason. Won by the Surge. Poirier off the draw. Back for Nedelku. Nedelku looking for a shot. She'll get a second chance. A double block there by Little. Just fearless out there. Work back into the corner. Chipped free. That one's going to go all the way down the ice, and it's going to be a foot race here, and it looks like it's going to be waved off. Good hustle there. As Catherine Dickey hustled her way down the ice to eliminate that icing, and we'll keep play continuing here. Nedelku back up. Sangster chipped it into the middle. Puck comes outside the zone. Marshall turns and fires it right back down inside. Kraken had to regroup in the neutral zone here. Back on the forecheck. Garnett will flush Kim out the right side. Poirier taken down by Mills. Cross ice. Kim. The left side for Sangster. Sangster inside out. Stays on it. She'll backhand that down inside the zone. She'll head for a change. Smart change there from Sangster. Hartnell in on the loose puck. She's got Lecky in the corner. Triple team. Garnett. Now Gibbs. She'll fire a shot there. Kicked aside by Chase on the blocker. Back up top for Gibbs. Gibbs works into the middle. She'll fire another shot there. That one goes high and wide. Hartnell. Not Hartner. Lift up top. It's going to come across for Tran. Tran back for Hartnell. Hartnell couldn't handle it. Tran shot there. That one through a couple bodies. Lucky looking for that bouncing puck. Robertson couldn't come away with that puck. As Wilcox able to chip that down. Icing waved off. Back for it is Gibbs in behind her own goal. She fires that through the middle, off the skates of Lecky and all the way down towards the goal. Robertson on the forecheck comes bouncing out to the neutral zone. Gibbs off her shin pads. Tran's going to get the red line, tries to fire it in deep, but it was picked off along the way. And now it's going to be pushed into the Kraken bench here. So the faceoff's going to come down inside the Kraken zone. Back to the point. Cycled down deep. Buffett in behind her own goal, or in behind the Kraken goal, not her own goal. Tries to cycle it down deep. Partner pass across. Shot coming from a distance, and the rebound comes loose in the high slot. Thought Chason had that there for a sec. Rossong down low. Vautour works around the top. She'll leave it there for Nedelku. Nedelku fires. Shot there, kicked aside. Chason. Chip to the blue line and not out. In behind the goal now. Legier back for it. Chip now, Eisner. Nice little move. She's going to get some space. Tries to go backdoor to Vautour. Was off a set of skates. Cut back move here. LeBlanc. The left side, turned it over. Chip pass down low. Nice little saucer pass from Nedelku there. Finds Eisner. Eisner works around the top half of the blue line here. Back for Nedelku. Nedelku shot there. That was blocked. LeBlanc in the shooting lane. Chipped off the wall by Ricketson. Safely there. That's going to go down the ice. It's not going to have enough for icing as Rossong back to collect. The right side for Joseph. That would be the left side, actually. Joseph wheeling. She'll cut back into the middle. Danica Joseph down the left side. She'll carry. Cut back. Shot. Couldn't pull the trigger. McCormick in there to help out. All the way back to the blue line. Rossong. She'll drag to the middle. Looking for the deflection at the side of the goal. Wasn't able to get it. Poked free. McCormick cuts into the middle. She couldn't find the extra space to pull the shot off. That's Kosman. She had that turned over. Joseph, 3-on-3 now down low. Joseph walks into the slot. Shot blocked. As Boutlier got in the shooting lane. Now it's going to work up the left side. Dickey. She's going to chip that inside the zone. Now Kim's going to go back the other way. She ran into Duguay there just inside the blue line. Tran. Outside now. Surge. Touching up here in the neutral zone. Tran finds it. She'll work down the right side. Tran with it still. Past the hash marks. Beneath the goal line now. Stopped up. Had it poked off her stick. Gould. Back to the point for Sangster. Sangster. Shot there. That one goes wide on the blocker side. Marshall rims it around. Kim meets it there at the left point. All the way around the zone. Back up top. Tran a shot there. Chase on the save. Rebound Chase on. Another save. Kicked that one into the corner. Quickly across for Kim. Kim fires. Shot there was tipped in front. They score. It looks like it's going to be Isabel Kim. I do believe that's her second goal of the game. Unless it was tipped in front. Jason there made 5 or 6 saves. And the final one beats her. So underneath, 10 minutes to go here. Hartnell will drag it inside the zone. Turnaround shot there off the old ear of Chasaw. So that was Kim from Tran. Now Hartnell looping around the zone. Chasaw blockered that aside. Now it's going to be played with a high stick. So the face-off will come outside. One cleanly by the Kraken there as Kosman fires it across for Duguay. Duguay on the backhand, got her stick jammed up in that spot where the ice meets the boards. We've all become a victim of that at some point. There's Mills in on the forecheck. Gibbs. Reversed it back the other way now is Robertson. She'll chip to herself. She's going to have a step here. 2-on-1 forming now. Backdoor for Hartnell. Shot there off the post. Rebound loose in front, and Robertson right there for the early Christmas gift. She pots that one home. And now it's 9-0 Surge. It was a rare bounce, it seemed like, after the Hartnell shot. Hit Chase on, just kind of spun in behind her. Just laid there in the crease, and I mean, not much you can do after that. Won't get too many goals easier than that one, I think. My puppy might have been able to put that one in. Just based on the scenario there, that is not a shot at the goaltender, just that the puck was laying there in the crease with nobody around. Just to be clear. So Vautour now, she'll walk out, tipped in front, that goes high and off the glass. One thing nice about the Summerside Arena here is the tall glass in behind the net. Kind of eliminates a few of those whistles. Inside the zone, centering pass. Shot there, they score. Buffett on the feed from Eisner. And all of a sudden, there's a 10-goal hockey game here. So we'll go back to center ice. Kim able to get the red line and fire it in deep. Good dump there as it'll land perfectly in behind the net. Kosman, the left side for Bex. Bex ran into a traffic jam there. Now as London will carry it in. London stick handling down there in the corner. Wasn't able to get by LeBlanc. Now Nedelku shot there, got the deflection in front from London, but it goes wide. Back to the point. Cross ice pass. Nedelku, another shot there. That was blocked. Kosman in the lane. Lots of block shots here from this Kraken team. They will block shots at any point of the game now as McCormick. Trying to poke that puck to herself, but now it's Kosman. She'll head north. 2-on-3, fires one towards the goal. Feltham the save. Beck's now looking for the rebound. Nedelku, simple pass up the right side for Joseph. Close that door over there, luckily. Great job over there from Gillespie. Very unsung hero moment. Oh, McCormick and Legier tangled up there in the neutral zone. Legier taking the worst of that one. Gibbs fires it in deep. Delayed offside here for the Surge, so Joseph will have to exit the zone and get out in the neutral zone and regroup here now as Wilcox fired a pass through the middle. Takes a quick sec to check her blade. Sangster trying to find an option. Hangs on. Like that play from Sangster. Didn't just give the puck away. He waits for an option. Now as it comes back to the point for Tran. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Back to the point. Held in by Gibbs. She'll loop it around the far side. Kraken get the exit here as that'll roll down the ice. Feltham will leave it there for Gibbs. Gibbs up the left side for Sangster. That's way too far for her to reach. That's going to be an icing charged here to the Surge. So we'll head back down into their defensive zone. Had a chance to have a quick chat with a couple of the Kraken coaches yesterday, and good positivity out of them. Just a few guys trying to help develop some hockey in the St. John area. Always nice to see the faces in behind the teams here, especially where we spend so much time in the rinks and we, ask a lot of questions about names and injuries and all that stuff. So it's always nice to have a little bit of a connection with the coaches. You don't want to get too close, but we've taken any chance we can to have a quick chat and talk some hockey. I think all of us hockey fans can agree that that's one of our favorite things to do, is just sit around and talk some puck. Tran now intercepts that's LeBlanc. As Gould coming in, LeBlanc got her stick tangled up in the jersey. She's just going to fire that in deep. Less than 4 minutes to go here in the third. Chipped off the wall. Nice little play there as Garnett in over the line. She centers into the middle there. LeBlanc almost got through the seam. Now as Leckie reversed it back the other way. Rossong in behind her own goal now. She looks for her option. Double team down there in the corner. Dickey and LeBlanc. Dickey. LeBlanc finishes her check down there. That'll be allowed this time as Hartnell down the right side. Cuts into the middle. Hartnell still with it. Drags, shoots. That was blocked. Rebounds there. Another chance. Oh, what a save. Chason. Desperation mode. Kicked out that left pad, and I can't really say I'm surprised. I've called a few games with Chason in the net, and just absolutely no give for her down there in the crease. Ripped inside the zone. Rossong being pestered there. So Surge trying to exit the zone. Quick pass there, and Lecky picks it up, and she's going to head north. Lecky with a step on Marshall. Had that poked off her stick at the last second. Somerville eased off with the numbers. Robertson, cross for Vautour. Vautour shot the save made by Chason. Lecky was heading to the bench for a change. Puck found her stick, and she just dumps it back in. The reverse play wasn't able to be connected on. So Somerville pass it through the middle for Richard. Gibbs trying to poke that free. Gibbs now will find a way to get it in deep. Marshall spins up the strong side. Ricketson trying to chip. Gibbs over there as well battling. Now she'll find that loose puck as she fires across ice. Eisner, one touch through the middle. Couldn't get it to Buffett. Now it will get there. Gabby Buffett. Centering pass, couldn't get it to Eisner. Now she'll get that dump in pass. Works in the left corner. Bootlier will lean on her. Vautour now, trying to corral that puck. Minute 50 left to go here in the third period. Back to the point. Shot coming. Tipped in front. Rebound just sat right there on a platter for Vautour. And she's not going to make any mistake. So 11-0 lead here. Minute and 40. And I'll say this, folks, when the score gets high like this, it's pretty easy to kind of lose your cool and maybe just start to get a little frustrated out there. I mean, I know that's how I used to play anyways, but this Kraken team, they just play right to the buzzer. Not a whole lot of extra stuff there, and that's a credit to the coaching staff and the players down there. Oh, big hit over there. They're going to let it go, though. It's actually quite a good hit there if there was actually body checking. A minute 14 left to go. Centering pass didn't make its way there as Kosman got a stick in the lane. Back to the point. Nedelku fires it in deep. Kim. Now Rossong shot there in front. The rebound was loose as Chason kicked it to the side. Fired the length of the ice. That one looks like it might go on goal, and it is not going to, just missing. Kraken tried to sneak a line change by the old referee, but she was right on site to get rid of that idea. So 46.6 seconds left. Our scoreboard will round up to 47. That's about as far as my math knowledge goes. Somerville will be asked to go back to the bench. The final 45 here. Rossong. Kim. Took her opponent down. Now she'll get the favor returned. Over on the right side now. Little. Back to the point. Rossong. Shot there cross ice. Kim looking for that loose puck. Now it's going to be picked up here by Dickey. 16 seconds to go. She'll chip and chase. Rossong back for it. Has to be careful in front of her own net. Dickey will take a penalty here as soon as they touch up, and they will here now as Duguay fires one towards the goal. So 4.3 seconds left to go here, and they're going to have a very late power play as Catherine Dickey got the holding penalty here. Doing everything in her power there to get that puck to the net. So she won't be in there for long. Just 4.3 seconds left. Puck is down towards the goal. McCormick looking for Kim for that hat trick, and she'll turn and fire, and that's going to do it here on a 11-0 victory for the Lindsay Surge here over the Fundy Kraken. And that's the final score. Eleanor Feltham that they shut out here. So that'll conclude the Surge's weekend here. And that'll conclude the coverage here of this game. The Rockets and Lynx up next. Logan Carruthers on the call. Thank you very much for tuning in for the early one this morning. We'll step aside and we'll see you guys all back here in about 15 minutes time. If you're traveling today, travel safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend.